No, I wore a new shirt. I watched it, but it's brand new to basketball.
First time out.
And I think it kind of shredded all my belly hair. And you know, like that.
Like a jogger, like who bleeds from their nipples?
Yeah, but like I didn't know for a week because, you know, like when hair grows in.
Your tits are so big you can't see your belly?
Yeah. When your hair grows in, it itches like a
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah.
And you can't figure, you're just like, oh my God.
That's why I got to keep it smooth all the time. Like a sheep.
But yeah, so I've been like all week long, I've just been like scratching my belly. It's finally grown enough to.
Anyway,
we don't need to. Yeah. All right.
Hey.
Jive and Honey, famous for nothing.
Here we are.
Yippee Ki-Yay, motherfucker.
Yippee Ki-Yay. I think you added a syllable.
What
Yippee Ki-Yay.
Yeah, I can add it.
Ki-Yay. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm making it my own.
Yippee Kanye. Yay. That's all right.
I'm excited. You'll find out what this is all about a little bit later.
Oh, right. No, that makes sense.
I'm excited about our little touch point subject.
Okay.
But Jive and Honey news. I know. I want to thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers. I know
thoughts and prayers.
I know
yes,
Jesus and God are very busy.
Well, it's the playoffs.
Especially
they're very busy.
With all the sports people thanking their Lord and Savior.
Lots of shootings.
Yeah.
Lots of always a shooting, so.
But I found my hat.
And where was your hat?
It was in the car.
It was exactly, in case you missed part of the last episode, it was exactly where I said it would be.
Yeah. He found it.
We went to the car. I opened the back door and went, this?
I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah, give it to me.
It wasn't under the seat. No, it was on the seat.
Yeah, but it was behind the driver's side. So, like, when I looked in the passenger seat where it was, possibly behind the passenger seat where I put my bag. And it was in neither one of those places.
This all tracks.
I could not think of why would it be behind me.
Wow.
I think I grabbed my bag and it was on my bag and it rolled over.
Yeah. Because it couldn't have been displayed more perfectly, like right in the middle of the seat. By the way,
I'm not gonna put it on because I'm a vain man and I don't want to mess up my hairs.
I understand.
But look how big that is. Like my melon.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen me in it.
Yeah. It's a good hat.
It's a good hat. But
speaking of not wanting to mess up your good looks, no, I'm so glad we were supposed to record yesterday, and I'm so glad we didn't because I looked a mess. I looked like I had been out at sea. And
you always look good to me.
Oh, thanks. Funny, my wife won't tell me that. She'll be like, "Yeah, Jesus Christ, clean yourself up. You want me to do it?" But no, I went and got a haircut this morning, a beard trim.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jen, who Jen or Genevieve, and
she's got a workout. She has her work.
It's not easy, and I tend to go in the beginning of the day, which is probably not the best way to start things. But
because you have to sit there and fucking stare at yourself.
Oh, it's
the worst,
dude. I stare in the mirror and I slowly see my father appear because he's bald. So the shorter my look gets, and he keeps his beard short, so it's like I start to see him, and it's fucking weird.
Oh.
It creeps me out.
I caught myself one time in a department store. You know how like things are mirrored all over a department store. I was walking by, and
you're like, I thought this place was bigger.
Yeah, my father's dead, so it was even worse. But I swear I fucking saw him, but it was like. Because there's through thing, because there's coats and racks and all that stuff. But it was in the mirror, and it was myself.
It's you, yeah. Ooh, yeah, it's rough.
It's
rough. No, but so Jen's cut my beard today, and she took a little. It was getting a little big, And I'm like, let's take some of the weight out of this. And so she did, and she goes, "Oh, what do you think?" It was the first thing she did, and I went, "Oh, I look fatter." And she goes. And I could see her kind of shrinking a little bit. And I went, no, that's not bad. Yeah. I got a pinhead. It's like, and I keep a long beard. It's not a great look for me.
If I could if you need weight anywhere in your face, it is this area.
It's right here. But I have a what they call a weak chin, or as we call it, a buffalo chin.
Buffalo chin.
So I got to keep some length here to keep
me
me from looking like a newborn turtle.
Yeah. See, I always had a good chin, but later in life, and why I keep the beard, is to hide the second chin.
Well,
that's why I keep it long
Yeah,
and right there.
Yeah.
So
that's our grooming.
yeah.
So, but yeah, thanks for the hookup, Jen. I feel much better about things.
Yeah, you do. You do feel good, all cleaned up. And
Yeah. I don't like the fact that she just spends a very little time here. That's just a little dusting in the back. It doesn't seem to take very long.
It's like a dry martini. She just kind of waves the scissors over it.
A little essence.
Yeah.
A little essence of a haircut, not an actual haircut. Yeah.
You think she, like, to make you feel better, she pretends she's cutting hair back there?
Could you pretend? Yeah. Ah, boy, real thicket here, huh? It's a real, got a real Stamos thing in the back.
Yeah.
Not the case. So yeah, but anyway.
You had proposed to take a little test or quiz today. Are we doing?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
This is making me really nervous.
Don't be nervous. A lot of people reach out to me and they ask me, "Hey, are you two really friends? Or are you just putting on for the show?" It's number one question.
We're not that good.
Number one question I get asked. And so I guess because our phones are always listening to us.
Yes.
It suggested I read this article, 5 signs that you've outgrown a friendship, according to therapists.
This is very, what if this like ends us?
What if this is written by our therapists?
And they somehow got it into.
They somehow found each other and got this to Condé Nast. Okay, yeah, I don't.
It kind of reminds me of like those old Cosmopolitan, quizzes that my sisters always used to take.
That you always used to take.
Yeah.
After the fact.
I would always.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what half of it meant, but compatibility.
Yeah. So, as with anything nowadays, I did not bother to read the entire article. Only the parts that were in bold. Which are the 5 things that we need to.
All right. So this might be our undoing, and this might be our last episode.
Well,
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. So
wait, what's the title of the?
The title of this was 5 Signs You've Outgrown a Friendship.
Oh man.
So we've been friends for 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
2000.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
maybe we
met
before that. Yeah.
A little bit before,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
All right. So quarter century of friendship here. Let's see. Do we throw it all away today? Okay. Number 1, your conversations feel forced or surface level.
Huh.
Well,
I
they feel forced in the fact that we.
Yeah, when you put a microphone in front of us. God damn it! I got to come up with something.
No, but also they don't feel forced because a lot of times they go, no, save that.
Yeah. Like about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago, we were talking about vitamin C.
And Tang.
Tang, yeah.
Yeah, and how Tang just makes us laugh.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to argue that was neither forced nor surface level because it got into some good memories from childhood.
Right.
It started because we were talking about how concerned we were with my wife's well-being because she's not feeling well. And
That's
how your
how it
wife
started.
does not like the taste of vitamin C drinks.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Right. All right. So
Is
far,
that considered deep?
I don't think that's a real surface conversation you would have with
right. It's not the weather.
It's not a
no, they're never for it. And it's like
okay. We're safe.
Okay.
Number 2. Your lifestyles don't align like they used to. Well, that's funny on a lot of levels.
Oh shit. Well,
people
it was
used
so funny how our lifestyles kind of went up and down meaning debaucherous.
Right.
And like it was like you were the most debaucherous person, and I had not met, but like considered friends and like
Until you took a test, you considered a friend.
But then you kind of settled down way before me.
Right, but you were sort of... See, I think I appeared debaucherous because you maintained a relationship when I was at my worst. You were actually in a relationship and like somewhat normal.
Yeah.
Like you went.
And they did cross,
and we crossed, and that was
we
not
call those the dark days.
Those were not good because it was like phase cancellation where it's like the same sound will cancel itself out.
Oh yeah,
it's like we can't remember anything that happened.
There's like a year and a half to 2 years of just debauchery.
Yeah, that was
we're both single and hot messes.
Yeah, so that was the crossover.
So yeah, that was the crossover.
Yeah, and then
I was in a long-term relationship that did not work out. We don't need to get into that.
I can't
That's
imagine
what my
why.
therapist is for. And then I went to the dark side for a little bit.
Right.
And then came out of it.
Yeah, and you were like, it wasn't that bad. So your lifestyle's in line like they used to, and you're not particularly motivated to adapt.
Oh.
Now, see, this is... I think the dark days where we were both in the middle,
right?
Not our best, most productive times,
right? But like we
survived
them.
We did survive. We came out wiser.
So I look at them back. I look back on them fondly.
I look at them very fondly, but I certainly don't have the physical ability to do that anymore.
Oh, no.
Like I could never bounce back from half those things. And it's, shit changes.
I think the best thing we've ever done, and it's like the whole no gifts ever birthday, and there's been like once or twice giving each other gifts.
Yeah.
We never put pressure on our relationship.
It's true. It's true.
We all like you kind of, especially like so long. You realize people you have shit going on.
Right.
Everyone has shit going on. So don't give someone that you care about shit for their shit.
Right. Don't make somebody feel bad about but also it's both of our lives have changed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got married, I got married, I had a kid, you did not. You moved to the suburbs. Which is weird actually. That's kind of out of line. But
no, but it's a change.
Massive. These are massive changes. And here we are. Number 2. So we're safe.
All right.
Number 6. Yes. And you know what? I do feel that we've both been pretty motivated to adapt.
Yes.
Or we haven't given enough of a shit that adapting was necessary.
Yeah.
Like when you said you were going to move to the suburbs, I'm like, well, he's lived in his house for 7 years. And I've been there 3 times. Twice was to pick you up to go to the airport. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, fine. The relationship feels increasingly one-sided. Well, I'm not going to say you brought a quiz to the table.
Who's got a page of notes prepared for today?
Who read the bold things? All right, this does not feel particularly one-sided.
No.
Sobering yin, raging yang. It's Jive and Honey.
Yeah,
you can't have
the
one
tiger
without
and
the
the
other.
monkey.
That's right.
I don't think we ever brought that up.
Oof. Yeah.
The Chinese astrological animals.
Yes.
He is a tiger. I am a monkey. We did go to one Chinese restaurant, and they were like, "Oh no tiger and monkeys."
It was when we first actually became friends, and we were starting to work together, and we were sitting in some dump, and we're looking at the placemat, and
reading about the animals.
And the waiter goes, "Oh, well, what are you?" And you went, I'm a monkey. And I said, I'm a tiger. And he looked panicked.
Yeah. It was like, nothing good can come of this. It's like a start of a movie.
It really is.
It was like, it was, I think, maybe the only time I should we reconsider this?
Yeah, it was a series. Like, we spent the rest of the time.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And then the fortune cookie told us otherwise.
Yeah.
Thank God the fortune cookie at the end of the meal said, change is coming your way. Or whatever the hell. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that was, all right. It's certainly not one-sided.
No.
Yeah. Okay. You're no longer willing to talk through any issues. Well, well, well. Look who's quiet now.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't have a lot of issues, and when we do, we talk about them.
Yeah, we talk about them, and
We've had literally one. We've had one problem in like the past 9 years. Yeah. And we talked about it.
Yeah,
it was fine.
And it's more like, it's more about motivating to actually do something.
Oh, I hope number five's not about motivating. Being motivated, because that could be a problem.
But it's also like not putting so much pressure on it. It's like also you give it a day. You know,
most of the time, you just take that feeling and push it down. It'll go away.
Yeah. All right.
But
Number 5.
If two friends can no longer talk through it or have lost the desire to, that may mean that the friendship is ending. I don't think that's that's not us. No. Okay. You really don't miss them or feel motivated to reach out. Now, granted, during COVID, we talked probably once a week.
Yeah.
Old school, on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. Like,
and I mean, for an extended period of time.
It's
like an hour.
You're the only person I did that too.
Yeah.
I did a couple of Zooms with some friends, some bowling buddies, but like that was like once or twice. We did it every week.
Yeah. We talked every week. And
that was so bizarre.
Yeah.
But I have to say,
oh boy, here comes he's gonna fucking drop the hammer on me.
No. This is a good thing. in that tone or I would say I look forward more to doing more things with you. Wait, that was horribly said. Like when I think about spending time with you, it's like I would like more, please.
Oh.
It's like we went to the Motley Crue show. I'm like, we need to do this more often.
We fucking driving home. I think we laughed so hard that we couldn't see the fucking highway for a bit.
So fun
because we were just laughing our ass off about stupid shit.
Dumbest fucking shit.
That was that. Yeah. No. I concur. There are more things I would like to do. I thought you were talking about like retirement.
Oh yeah. No.
I'm like, are we gonna get sweaters that like we wear like retirement? Like, what are we doing? Yes. And I'm with you on this. And
I have to say, when I knew this was happening today, and like I was very nervous, but I was thinking the best way to sum up our friendship. It's a story we tell all the time. It's like we travel for work, we shoot all around the country, and in the beginning, our clients didn't have enough budget. And everyone,
they didn't trust us enough to give us the budget.
Yeah. Early on.
So
everyone had a bunk up together. So if we traveled with 4 or 6 people, everyone had
2 to a room.
Everyone had a roommate just for budgetary reasons. And then when we started getting more successful, our clients got bigger, and we did the same thing. We could get our own rooms. And the first time we worked together and we had our own rooms, at the end of the night, we were like 2 little sad sacks. You could hear like the violin music at our own like
across the hall from each other.
Ready to use our electronic key on our door and be like, I guess this is good night.
I guess just call me for going to breakfast in the morning.
So the next morning, we went to the front desk and got 1 room with 2 beds, and we went back to being roommates. Bert and Ernie style.
That was so fucking.
It was, oh my God.
Everyone else on the crew was like,
oh my God.
Wait a minute.
We all have our own rooms. You guys are.
You guys, one of you switched room. It was like, no, we got a completely different
room for. Oh my God.
Ah, shit.
It had to happen.
It did.
But I said the deal breaker. I was like, why did we ever stop? The one time, I was like, all right, we need our own rooms. We need to grow up.
Yeah.
I think it was the last day of the shoot, and we might have went out to Ruby Tuesdays. In the Iowa
lot,
somewhere.
The Ruby Tuesdays in the parking lot of
our
hotel.
Parking lot of our hotel.
Of our Red Roof Inn.
And had a few too many cocktails.
Yeah.
And I remember rolling over and you still smoked, and you were you're very nice, and you pushed the chair to the sliding door window to smoke out the window. So you were wearing a towel. Maybe you jumped in the shower. I don't know. But I rolled over to look at you, and I could see your balls. So I'm eye level with your fucking sack. While you're smoking, I'm just like, all right, I'm done.
Turns out it was also the hand towel.
Yeah. I'm like, there's bath towels, right?
I was like, oh, my bad.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, so that was, short-lived, but
Yeah.
but that was very funny. I do remember that sad hallway.
It really was.
And it was like, bleep, 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 bleep. 2 beeps. And it's like, well.
And then sitting in the room alone being like, I've got no one to talk to.
Trying to make fun of ESPN by yourself.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Yeah.
Shit, God damn it.
Good times.
All right, so we passed.
All right, we're still friends.
It goes on.
There will be another episode for now.
Holy shit, bro.
Oh, boy. Gotta love Cosmo.
To kind of zoom it along a little bit, just jump into what we talked about, because earlier this week on the radio, someone was it was like a radio quiz thing, and you had to guess what movie it was. And it was a scene, and the guy's like, I have no idea what movie it is. And I'm just like, it's fucking Unforgiven. The Clint Eastwood Academy Award winning Western, modern Western.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. So like they reveal it, and he's like, no. And the guy was like, nope, never watched it. And he's like, you never watched Unforgiven? It's like,
yeah,
he's
it's
like,
canon.
And then he said, I don't like Westerns. And I was just like, it just kind of rattled in my brain a little bit. It's
that
like
somebody would say, I don't
like Westerns.
It's a pretty sweeping thing to say. It's when people say, I like all music except for hip hop and classical and country music.
I don't like rap music.
It's like what?
I mean, I get it. It might not be for everyone. It just seems it doesn't come up all the time. Like, I don't like horror films. Like, okay, you don't like blood and it's like, but Western. I don't know. I just because it's ingrained.
I can also tell you're trying to toughen up this episode because we just did a friendship quiz.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make it a bit more masculine in here.
Actually, I'm gonna lower my voice a little bit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I am not a huge, and God forbid my stepfather or your father-in-law here in this episode. Yeah. I don't like John Wayne.
I'm not
a John Wayne fan.
And even when I think about Westerns, I do not think about John Wayne.
I like there are some Westerns I like that he is in.
Yes.
But I'm not oh God, John Wayne, he's amazing. I don't really care. And most of the stuff I like, he's not in.
Yeah. But for me, and as you know, and try not to roll your eyes at this, but throughout our friendship, you have seen me take on some Western cowboy,
some shirts,
just about all my shirts are Western style snapped shirts.
Yeah. I'm just glad you stopped wearing ones that were embroidered Colt.
Yeah.
And had somebody with 6 shooters on the back.
Yeah.
That was
no, these are just like straight up. But I own myself a pair of real cowboy boots I bought from a cowboy out in Wyoming. I love wearing them. I walk. He
taught you to say Wyoming.
I walk a little different when I wear them.
Right.
I own multiple 6 shooters.
You do? You have a bunch of replica Colts?
Yeah. Or non-firing.
Yeah. Pin.
And I have the holsters for them.
Yeah.
And I used to wear them in the office.
Which was kind of upsetting.
We don't hang out at the beach often because
you wear holsters.
No, I wear my beach hat it's a straw beach hat, but it's a cowboy hat.
Right.
So because I could see people looking at me weird.
Right.
You know, in New Jersey.
If they had known that you won it on a mechanical bull.
Yeah. Now I haven't delved into chaps or anything like that, but then I was just like, it is a little weird. But when you think about it, I'm not. My childhood was I was an outdoorsy kid.
Right. Yeah. You grew up in the wilderness.
I grew up. I stopped very early, but my family were hunters. We went camping.
Yeah.
We went in the mountains.
An outdoorsy
life. I cut wood. Did all that stuff. Could start campfires.
You an Eagle Scout?
No, my brother was a big Boy Scout. He didn't make it to Eagle. My grandfather was an Eagle Scout.
Okay.
That I was named after, Joseph, another Joseph, who's an Eagle Scout. But my brother, he went through the survival thing that the Boy Scouts put you through. They basically drop you into the woods with no supplies. And
Just try to butt fuck you
for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You gotta run away.
Yeah. But it's just the camp leaders being like, your lips look good, boy.
We're gonna get you.
Yeah. I don't think it was quite like
What's
that.
that patch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Patch looks like a butthole.
I don't want to talk about that patch.
Nah.
But then my father, Wild Bill Hasenauer, he was a sheriff, and he had a gun on him. He had a holstered gun on him every waking minute.
And yeah, then it was a revolver, right?
Yeah, it was his thing. But he also had one strapped to his ankle. We had tons of guns.
Wow,
in the
Bill
house.
was strapping. That's
all the time. But his uniform, it's basically a cowboy hat, but it's just a flat brim, brim. And the United County Sheriff's Department had a posse that I used to ride with.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
So when you think about it, it's not that big of a stretch that I like to kind of take on a cowboy persona.
Right.
In my personal life.
Yeah, doesn't explain the lasso classes, but still. Never understood that. I could see whittling, maybe.
But yeah, when I met my father-in-law, who's I was trying to, how will, this my wife's father accept me? He just wants to be a cowboy too.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Do you guys
kindred spirits?
Did you give him like horsies and you guys play?
No, pew, pew. No, the opposite. He showed me his 6-shooters and told me never to tell my wife.
Okay, I'm glad we talked about it here then.
Oh, she doesn't listen.
That's a safe space.
It is a safe space. But I think we both, and it goes along with the theme today of friendship, whatever. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
It's probably number 1 or number 2 on my list of cowboy movies. It's in the top 5 of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
We always said,
oh my God,
if we have to die, we want to go out against the Bolivian army and freeze frame at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. But I think that is one of the. I think it's perfect. I enjoy it no matter when I see it, where I turn it on. It's great. It's such a great movie. It's a great Western.
One of those movies that you find something new every time.
Yeah, and you know what? It was like a 70s sort of auteur movie, and it had.
Yeah, it was not well reviewed.
No, I think because it's a Western that shares a lot more with like a
buddy movie.
With the Easy Rider,
yeah,
or like a road movie, any road movie, than a classic Western.
I was going to pretend that I just knew this, but
okay, you looked it up
in my research. Do you know the name of their gang that Butch Cassidy led and had a fight for?
Yeah,
which is an awesome scene.
It's not the Apple Dumpling Gang.
No, that's awesome.
Shit, I don't know.
I love that movie.
What was it?
Movies.
Yeah.
A Hole in the Wall Gang.
Hole in the Wall Gang.
Hole in the Wall Gang.
Man, we should get cowboy shirts made. Say the Hole in the Wall. Oh, you know what? That's probably not gonna. Yeah. That's probably gonna get us in trouble. Maybe
it's not glory hole in the wall, gang.
Yeah, but maybe.
But knowing us, it would be implied.
Yeah, it would easily take that turn. That's not a bad T-shirt though, with the hole in the wall gang on the back. Yeah, I don't hate that. Yeah, that definitely fights for one of my favorite cowboy movies.
Without a doubt.
Because not long ago, maybe 2 years ago, I rewatched The Wild Bunch. The Wild Bunch is now, I think, fighting for 1 and 2.
Wow.
Because it looks so great. It's so good. You got to rewatch it.
Well, I have a confession to make.
Oh, boy.
like Godfather. If you're in film or any of the, you watch a Godfather. Citizens Kane. Chinatown.
If you wear cowboy shirts, you need to watch certain movies.
I have never seen The Wild Bunch, Magnificent Seven, Stagecoach, The Searchers, High Noon.
Dude, Searchers is great.
It's like
Searchers
it's
is
number
great.
one on so many lists.
I don't know if I'd make it number one. It's not even my favorite John Huston film. Like, it's great, but I like, and I know I said I don't like John Wayne. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance with
that's
that
probably
one.
My favorite John Wayne movie.
That's my favorite John Wayne movie.
Yes.
That might be my favorite John Huston movie.
I don't think I realized John. Oh, actually, I did, because it's black and white in the age of color film.
Yes.
He purposely did it black and white, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so good.
The Searchers, you'll find, is
all right. I have not
is equally as beautiful. Like it is very.
Yeah.
You'll appreciate it because it's very painterly.
Yeah.
The way shots are composed, a lot of stuff is shot wide. It's really it's great.
But it's John Huston.
Yes, that is also John Huston.
That makes sense.
And a lot of people consider that not only the best, Western, but maybe his best film. And, yeah. But I do like Liberty Valance, just like a little bit more.
It's good.
Yeah.
There's 2 movies that, just because they remind me of my father, and they're like the perfect storm of all the movies I like. And my dad was a huge Rockford File watcher. So like growing up at Little Joey,
I'm a big rock. I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' house growing up, and my grandfather was heavy on rock. He was a dentist who worked out of the house, and he would not take appointments during Rockford File reruns.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was right around lunchtime, so double dip on that. But it was
But James Gardner, who is Rockford, did 2 movies: Support Your Local Sheriff and Support Your Local Gunfighter.
I know Support Your Local Gunfighter. I don't know Support Your Local Sheriff. I've never heard of that.
That's a weird one. That's the sequel, and they're basically the same characters but different characters. In that one, he has the tattoo of the girl, and he's a gigolo, and people mistake him as a gunfighter.
Right.
And it has that chick that's in all the Walt Disney movies that I had such a major crush on, a brunette. I can't think of her name. Plachette.
Oh. Jacqueline
Plessette. Yeah.
Is that how you say her name?
But these films are the best. They're westerns, they're comedies, and they're rom-coms.
It checks all the boxes for you.
All my boxes. It reminds me of my dad. My dad kind of looked like Rockford File and like that Rockford File, but like he was like, I gotta stop saying like a pacifist. Like he wouldn't actually fight. Like the Support Your Local Sheriff, he threw rocks at things. At one point, he puts his finger in the villain's gun.
Great comedy. Great high mark of comedy.
Right, which rolls over into like a Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. I mean, there's two Western comedies that are the peak. Blazing Saddles, and nobody did anything funny again until A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah,
which is hilarious.
I just rewatched.
It's so funny.
So funny.
Blazing Saddles. I mean, first of all. I read a book on Mel Brooks not long ago, and he said when they were writing Blazing Saddles, they had Richard Pryor, as a writer, and they had two other writers who were Jewish. And so Richard Pryor wrote all the white jokes, and they wrote all the black jokes, and then they traded.
Yeah.
And Richard Pryor was like, they're funny, but they don't make a point. And he was like, you gotta use the N-word.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, just like, no. And he was like, yeah, it's very important that you do.
Oh, and it makes the movie.
And it makes the movie.
It's so poignant.
Yeah. Yeah. The executives all hated the movie, of course, when they saw it. They went, you have to cut this. And Mel Brooks went, yeah, sure. And he threw away their notes as soon as they left, and he didn't make any changes. They released it in New York, L.A., and Chicago. And it was a massive. It was, it ended up being
anything else. Success trumps any problems you have with anything.
Yes, of course. Once it made money, it really wasn't. But Blazing Saddles, I think, informed my sense of humor.
Oh,
because I would never have used the N-word as many times as I did if it wasn't for Blazing Saddles. Yeah, I'm not a rap kid.
I think you're going to green light, but it's like you kind of get the reference to it. My dad loved it, and just would laugh, belly laugh.
Yeah.
Not to make this all a dad thing, but it is.
You know what? I'll make it a quick grandfather thing. When my grandfather moved in with my dad, he had a VCR, and he would tape Rockford. And he had to, none of us knew this at the time, so he had a basement apartment, and he had all these VHS tapes. And they were just numbered, like dates and numbers. Mm-hmm. I remember my dad and I were down there one day, and I went, "What's this?" He goes, "It's my Rockford files."
I love the commitment.
Right.
I love the commitment.
It was great. Yeah.
Oh man, I wonder if they hold up. I haven't seen one.
I don't know.
Then I'm a huge fan. It's so tough because he turned into such a conservative jackass. But all the Clint Eastwood movies, all the spaghetti westerns.
The spaghetti westerns are more on Sergio Leone or the other people that happen to have a lot of Clint Eastwood appearances.
Yeah. But I've watched them multiple times over and over again. They're so weird.
Yeah, because they were made by people who didn't understand the West.
Yeah.
That's why they're so weird.
But so
they didn't understand the American West,
too.
But they made great.
And the music, which Tarantino
bites Enrico, what's his name?
All through Kill Bill is all the Western music. It's so good.
Yeah.
But
it's weird. Tarantino's made 2 Westerns now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, and I just rewatched Django Unchained. Mm-hmm. So good. It's so hard.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie. And I think because who's the German dude?
Christoph Waltz.
Because he did the most amazing role in
Inglourious Bastards, yeah.
When he came to the Western, it was so odd and weird and quirky. When I first saw it, I was like,
it was hard to buy. Yeah.
But now that I've watched it again, he's amazing again.
He is, yeah.
It is so good.
Yeah,
it's so good. And then Hateful Eight isn't well reviewed, but I fucking love it.
Hateful Eight,
I love it. Maybe a little
Hateful Eight is more about Tarantino being able to shoot on that format, that ultra wide format, and do a box drama that's all in one room, which is crazy to shoot that format in a room, essentially. Yeah. A big room, but still, that's really, really a strange thing to do.
Yeah.
But he did it, and he did it pretty well.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's all right. He's got a future.
The one thing about Sergio Leone, he was the first choice for The Godfather. They really were pushing for him to do it. He used to do gangster movies, and he really wanted to make Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yeah.
So he took a hard pass. And, it's the thing. But imagine The Godfather done by a spaghetti Western director.
You know what, though? The book, The Godfather, was much less family focused. And it was very, very violent. It was super graphic.
Right. It was
Mario Puzo wrote that.
Right.
It was more of a pulp.
It was Coppola that spun it into it. It's a family. It's about them cooking Sunday dinner, and he's the one that
the producer
on that.
The producer who brought Coppola in when he brought him in to meet Robert Evans, he went, don't talk about smart shit like cinema. Talk about Italian shit. Because they had decided only an Italian can make this film.
Yeah.
He goes, talk about recipes. Don't talk about whatever. Because he had made the conversation, I guess. And, I don't know what else he had done at that point. But yeah, so they were like, don't be heady. Just
There's a great series about that. The making of.
Oh, the Paramount series,
yeah,
right?
Paramount series. I forget what it was fucking called.
The Offer? Was that the one?
I think it was, yeah. And the guy that plays Robert Evans was great. He was so good. It's a really good series. If you're into that.
I should probably watch that.
Yeah, it is. It's so good. Thinking about the modern stuff, it's a cheesy ass movie, but the cast is great, and they use all the tropes of the quick cuts and the eyes.
Young Guns?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No.
I'll take it off my list.
Yeah.
Young Guns 2.
You and Emilio Estevez can take that on the road. Quick and the Dead.
Quick and the Dead's a little underrated.
I love it.
Sharon Stone, right?
Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe.
Who is the young...
Gene Hackman.
Who is the
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who's Leonardo DiCaprio? That's right.
Yeah, it's so great. And I think that got me the little fetish of the Western stuff. Sharon Stone in her prime, dressed as in Western gear.
Oh yeah.
Is hot as shit.
That's when you got heavy into bodices.
Yeah. No, she wasn't bodices. She was a serious cowpoke.
Yeah. No. We're gonna say cowpoke. We allowed to do that in 2025?
I don't think so. We just got canceled.
Something that I think probably, if you consider it a Western, you have to consider it probably one of the best ever made. No Country for Old Men.
I don't consider it a Western.
You don't.
It's a crime thriller. They wear cowboy hats.
It's a reasonable argument that you would say it's a
Oh,
crime
it was
movie.
on many lists, and I was like, no.
All right.
Same with Hell and High Water.
Hell and High Water to me is more a crime movie than.
But what would you consider? Why would you consider Country for Old Men a Western? Besides cowboy hats, and it's in the Texas border.
Just the bad guy coming to. There's so many. There's too many
cars.
Well, cars would be a problem. Yes, but that would be a problem. Retribution.
Yeah.
Found treasure. These are things that are really, really.
Yeah, it has
found.
the tropes of a Western, but I just
Okay.
don't.
Your argument is
Crime
absolutely,
thriller. And I
absolutely
love
valid.
Country for Old Men.
It's
one of my favorite.
I know it's one of your
all-time
favorite movies.
Yeah,
It's one of the best movies ever made in America, for sure.
Yeah. And Coen Brothers made a Western. And it's really cool.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
No, that was very odd, and I did enjoy it. I haven't seen it since.
They were all shorts.
They're all shorts, vignettes.
Yeah, they did the. It was the remake.
True Grit.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And what's her name? Who was in Hawkeye?
Yeah.
It was so good.
She's great.
She was great.
She's potentially the best thing in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But it hits all the notes.
No.
And it's Coen Brothers. They did a good job.
Great job. But you know what I think is connected to the Coen Brothers, but different because it was Roger Deakins who shot it. Assassination of Jesse James.
Oh my God, so good.
That is a amazing Western, and so different.
It doesn't get enough credit. It should be spoken about more often
and more highlighted
as a great film. It is. Yeah. It got me, man.
Yeah. You hung your whole movie on Casey Affleck and Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt,
Which
doesn't, doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Doesn't hurt, but also like they're just wandering alone.
But man, Casey Affleck can play a little weasel. Oh shit, plays the shit out of it.
Yeah, what a great movie.
It's so good. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's different. It's slow. But it's so good.
Yeah, it's great. Not as good, but I will also say another great slow Western, Dead Man.
I have to watch it again. I remember Jim Jarmusch.
And Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, as an accountant.
And it keeps
It's
coming
weird.
up. Yeah,
It's weird, but it's great.
I remember like enjoying it. I haven't watched it in years, so
I remember thinking it was, and I haven't watched it in a long time either, but thinking it was one of Jim Jarmusch's more accessible movies.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of a straight
Makes sense.
narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to watch it.
Yeah.
One, it's not a perfect movie. It's too long, and it's easy to bitch about movies being too long, but this was like a solid 20 minutes too long. But I really enjoyed it, despite some actors that I don't love now. Mm-hmm. Silverado. Kevin Kline.
I really like
Kevin
Silverado.
Costner.
I think it's
so clever. It's funny.
Yeah.
I love how they introduce all the comedy and the characters are so strong.
I haven't watched that for a pretty long time. I can't speak to it being like maybe too long. Oh, they should have cut this.
But it's not only that it's too long, it goes off course. There's like 20 minutes where you're just like,
yeah, it's a weird.
Really
it is a weird movie, and it's
so the payoff.
Yeah, the payoff's great in that movie. I think that's a really underrated.
Yeah,
like along with something like Dead Man or Jesse James, Assassination of Jesse James, underrated.
Yes,
but weird.
Yeah. And in my research, it's like there's so you had to watch all the highlights of Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we talked about Tombstone before.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It is so fun. It's
I
great.
love Tombstone.
It is exaggerated.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And I think now that I know that Kurt Russell secretly directed Tombstone,
Yeah.
it makes more sense that I
It
loved
does.
it so much.
It does. Yeah,
And all of that facial hair was real. They all grew mustaches for that.
Billy Bob Thornton was fat. And
Yeah.
Kurt Russell slaps him silly. It's amazing. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's it. That is a great one.
Yeah, that we talked about this one in a prior episode is The Proposition.
Yeah, Proposition is
Australian Western.
Yep.
Great cast.
Written by Nick Cave.
Yeah.
Amazing
it's
cast.
So interesting.
Different,
It's like
and it's on a timeline. Like you got to get it done by this time. So there's an urgency to it, and it's weird because it's Christmas in Australia, and it throws you off because you don't understand hot weather in Christmas. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah, and it's tense.
Yeah,
you just know it's like,
and everyone's filthy.
Everyone's filthy,
and nobody has nice teeth,
Yeah.
which is something that was overlooked for a long time in westerns. People all have really nice teeth, and they should not.
The only little note that it was funny, and I didn't know that Cindy Pollock directed it, and I have to go rewatch it. I remember watching it a long time ago. Is the Robert Redford Western Jeremiah Johnson?
Oh, that's a
big grizzly beard, and he's like,
yeah, that's a.
It has.
I haven't thought
the
about that
best meme ever. When you see Robert Redford, the first. He gives that
nod,
that knowing nod, that approving nod.
That's a great meme.
Oh my god, it's the best meme ever. But apparently, a very good movie that I need to go rewatch.
Very funny.
Hopefully, we find that and put that up.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
The only thing I want to jump into is television. One, I don't watch Yellowstone. So many people love it.
No, because you have self-respect.
I try to watch it. Like it's a Western. Everyone loves it. I couldn't get through the first season. It was tough for me. It was more like a soap opera.
I know
than,
you like some of this dude's work, and don't get me wrong. Taylor Sheridan's written a lot of stuff. Wrote Sicario. I love that. There's a couple of films I think we talked about today he might have written. But yeah, just making porn for middle-aged suburban dads who are just like to complain at the TV is no, I don't want to watch it. I have no interest in it. I don't have interest in the other one or the other one. No, I don't want to see it. I have enough self-respect not to watch any of those shows.
Right. Yeah, and everyone like I always think I'm going to go try it again. I'm not.
Don't.
I'm
I like that you didn't.
But I'm excited for a new. Well, it actually came out maybe a couple weeks ago, and I hear that it's very violent. But Peter Berg, who was the
Peter Berg.
He was the creator of Friday Night Lights, which is one of the best television series ever. And he took one of the stars from there, Riggins. What's his? I can't think of his real name.
Yeah,
but the women loved Riggins.
Tim something.
No, that was his character's name.
Yeah, that was his character. Yeah,
Tim Riggins.
Shit. Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah,
Taylor Kitsch,
there you
that's
go.
his name. He's weird. I don't know about that guy.
It is called American Primeval, which just sounds awful.
Not a great name.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be a chuckle fest.
Yeah.
But it's out. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see because I dig his work. He can write a fucking series. So, and then lastly, probably the best modern thing is Deadwood.
Yeah.
And I love
you love saying cocksuckers. That's for sure.
Well, that was what I was going to get to. That actor is Ian McShane.
Ian McShane's awesome.
Is awesome. He reminds me of my dad. Like my dad
that is not something to tell people.
Yeah. But my dad.
Oh, Ian McShane specifically in Deadwood.
Yeah, that's how
reminds me of my dad. Don't tell people that.
Yeah. And cocksucker being his
his
favorite,
go-to,
his go-to word. Yeah.
Timothy Olyphant.
But Timothy Olyphant
he's a great actor.
He's one of my faves.
Awesome.
I'll check him out and everything. He's in Justified, which you could say is a Western, but it's not. It's a martial.
It's not. It's a
It's
a law show. He's a lawman.
Yeah. He just wears a cowboy hat.
Again, just a cowboy hat. But you have that weird Timothy Olyphant poster where he doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, I do. Fuck hell yeah.
If I can find one, I'd get you one because I know you love Timothy Olyphant that much.
I do.
You think you and Timothy Olyphant be friends?
Oh, and when he made an appearance in The Mandalorian, forget about it. I mean, I was just like, you couldn't
hold back.
And he was dressed as a cowboy. Timothy Olyphant as a cowboy in a Star Wars show.
Holy shit! That is.
Yeah.
Yep. That is pretty much.
That is it. See, you know me. We
are
are friends.
And that's why that quiz will never beat us.
Exactly. Holy shit.
Well, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah. All right. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. Full video is on YouTube, so watch us. Fucking laugh about that. Also, you can see Joseph being super nervous at the beginning of the episode where he doesn't think we're going to be friends anymore.
We can't be friends anymore.
Oh, it made me laugh. Anyway.
All good shit.
All right. We'll see you next week.